Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 49 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am very excited for today. I have finally worked out a good solution to a problem that I've been having with my Uber miner. So let me tell you guys about the problem, then I'll tell you about the fix, then I'll tell you about another fix that we're going to have to implement for the problem that's the same problem to the original problem that was also fixed previously. You might notice that all my turtles are gone from the front of the mining quarries. And if you're really observant, you might notice my mining quarries are one level lower. Well, so the problem that I've been having for a while is that all the mining quarry thing keeps, placing down a bunch of mining pipes and leaving them behind. And I've been trying to figure out why that was the case. And I thought it was just a case of, hey, these mining wells just don't like being moved by this whole MFFS system. And to be honest with you, that's not surprising. The moving of blocks from one location to another is really something that Minecraft was not built to do. And a lot of mods just weren't capable of handling it. There's still some things that just don't work right when they get moved. So you really want to be careful when you're moving things. So I just thought, all right, that's just the way it is. I have to find a solution to this. Well, it turns out that the main problem or the main cause of it doing that was because one of the things getting moved along with the mining wells was the pipes. So if I were to go and throw an item into the chest here as a demonstration, see how a bunch of pipes show up underneath the mining wells, as we're well aware. Well, when this was a level higher, this pipe right here was getting moved by the frame quarry thing, right? So what was happening was when it moved underneath the mining well thought it was still mining, so it didn't remove the pipe. But now that we've gone ahead and moved these one level lower, we're no longer moving the pipe along with the mining well. It's kind of on the same level as here. So as long as we don't move these pipes along with the mining well, we're actually all right. And it's automatically removing the pipes for us every time. So no longer do we need to worry about the turtles here. So that's a solution to one of the problems that we've got. However, there's another problem that we have, okay? And that is computers. Computers seem to be working all right on this mining well system, but as I've been running it off camera a lot, I've discovered that it actually does cause a problem. Now, this is where things get really complicated and technical. Basically, for those of you who really want to know the technical reason for this, behind the scenes on your Minecraft server, when you're running Minecraft, every time you have a computer placed down, it spawns what's called a thread in the system. And it's basically a way for the Minecraft server to be able to run all the code that the computer is running. Well, when you shut down a computer or you break it, it turns off that thread for you. That's the good news. The bad news is when it gets moved by this frame thing, it doesn't realize it's been turned off, so it leaves that thread running. And then when the new computer gets moved, it creates another thread. So every time it moves, it keeps adding more and more threads to the system instead of removing them and cleaning themselves up. After a while, this starts to overload your system. The main side effect of this is that all of a sudden computers just stop working. So you'll go up to a computer and try and access it and just nothing shows up on the screen. And it's really weird and strange and funky looking, and it might even cause some other problems with the server until you restart Minecraft, the server itself. Like, you don't have to reboot the server, but you restart the Minecraft server, and then things kind of start behaving again. So we don't want to move computers with this system at this point. So what we should probably do is replace these guys and set them up so that they're not moved by the whole contraption that we've got going on here. So why don't we make some changes today to make it so that no computers are getting moved by the MFFS frame mover contraption? Sound like a plan? Let's do it. I need to paste bin my programs anyway, so why don't I do it for you guys now. I'll do a paste bin put on startup and a paste bin put on mine, so you guys have access to both those programs if you ever want to start playing around with them yourself. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is move my ender chest over to the side, and then next to it I'm going to replace my computer with a turtle. Ta-da! Now I have to change a couple things in startup. For example, I need to wrap the peripheral. Instead of on the top, we're going to wrap the one on the right. So this is going to now be able to check the chest on the right instead of the chest on the top. Cool. That's the simpleness of that. Now let's edit the mine program. So this one's a little bit different. First off, break wells. We really don't even need this anymore, so I can get rid of this guy. That's not a big deal. See you later, break wells. And we don't need this thing anymore. And we do want to go with the bundled output on the back still. So let's go ahead and replace what used to be the back. Now we're going to do this. Okay, you see? Oh, there we go. Here. And I guess here. That's fine. That should work. Right? No, that's not good. I really need to get this guy to behave. Let's see. How can I get this thing to do what I want it to do. Alright, I'm going to have to actually turn this guy into an advanced mining turtle. So this is what happens, guys, when you start going with like these crazy complicated builds. Sometimes it takes a little effort just to finesse them into perfection. Okay, so now this guy is hooked up, he's ready to go. I should be able to then, so now he's working with the no item detected thing, so that's good. Let me edit the mine program for just a minute. Alright, I hope this works. I have not tested this off camera yet, so let's see. I'm going to try and run the mine program. And what I hope happens, invalid side. Okay, line 2. Alright, it's just that it was bottom instead of down, run mine. So you should hit bedrock nice and quick like we're used to. And then what I'm hoping the turtle will do is send the pulse to do the move and then real quick break the block under him. Nice, that's what I wanted to see. Perfect. Now what I want him to do is move forward on part of startup. So if we edit startup, we're going to tell it to... I renamed it to startup too. Turtle.forward. And what I need to do now is give it some fuel. So turtles, if they want to move around, need fuel. So we want to refuel all. We'll give them a stack of fuel just to go for now. So go forward. And we'll rename startup 2 to startup. And now what should happen is, let's see, actually edit startup. Yeah, that sounds good. Turtle forward. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. So, actually, let's go back. And we're going to reboot the computer now. So what he should do is this. Now he's going to check for items in the chest. And if he finds one, like a piece of cobblestone, he should plant the thing below him. Item detected in chest. Okay, so that's not working totally right. Alright, one more try. Here goes nothing. So reboot the computer. He's going to sit there and wait for an item to be in the chest. Place an item in there, and what he should do is place down a thing underneath him so that he can mine. Then when the mining is complete, he'll send the signal to move and then real quick break it. And then he needs to reboot at that point. You know what I'm going to have him do is instead of, we're going to sleep for a second, and then we're going to turtle forward as part of the mine program. Cool. So let's go forward and then reboot. Here goes nothing. Testing, finalize program stuff. There we go. And he should go forward. And now he's going to check the chest. Cool. Look at him go. Now we're talking. Nice. See? So we're no longer moving the computer on the frame. So that's an important step that we need to be aware of. We want to make sure that the computer is no longer being moved on the frame, and this will prevent that problem that I was telling you guys about earlier. Now, when there's no item in the chest, he'll just kind of sit there and wait. No item detected, see? But as soon as there is one, like now, he'll start mining. Cool. I like it. Alright, so the next thing to solve is this turtle up here. He needs to start behaving as well. So let's change him up. What I'm going to do here is pretty similar. I'm going to modify this, and we're going to remove one of the scale modules from the up position so that he no longer is going to be moving, and we'll put it in this mode here, and we should see that he's no longer moving the turtle. Okay? So I want to modify this guy to do something similar. I'll be back in a moment. So this guy's got a little bit of a different job to do. He's going to check with the detect down function to see if there's a block below him. If there is, then he's just going to wait 5 seconds and then check again. If there's no block below him, he's going to know, all right, if there's nothing below me, this whole frame thing must have moved. So in that case, I'm going to move forward one and then do the dig down, sleep a second, place down. So that's basically what we're going to be doing, and he's going to continuously loop and do that. So let's exit out here, refuel all with a stack of coal again. There you are. And we will reboot. So now he's just going to sit there and constantly check every 5 seconds for a block to be below him. If there is, cool. You know what? Let's see. The whole operation here is every 6 seconds. And then there's a couple second delay. So 5 seconds should be fine. We're going to keep an eye on it though and make sure everything's good. So let's see. You're going to mine. And then you're going to initiate the move. And he should pretty quickly determine there's no block below him, so move forward and catch up. And break replace. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see happen. Nice. I think we've totally perfected this mining operation here, guys. There should no longer be any problems, as far as I can tell. Unless we run into something in front of us, which at some point I could probably fix. Actually, I have a really good way of fixing it. We'll see, though. For now, I'm pretty happy with this build. Look at that. It is cruising. That is cool. Oh, I love automation. This is the kind of thing where it's like, I think I've finally perfected this build. It's taken me, how many episodes now? Like, I've been fiddling with it for like the last few episodes. I know I've been spending time doing other things, but I've really been kind of fiddling with this build for a little while now, and I'm just so pleased to have it actually working without any obvious issues. The computer thing was really sticking on me, so yeah. Oh, and just in case you guys were wondering what happens when the mining turtles run out of fuel. Well, that's a very good question. This guy's going to run out of fuel first because he's been running, at least 1 or 2 steps ahead of this guy, right? So every time he runs, if he doesn't have fuel, what's going to happen is he's going to stuck back here. He won't be able to move forward. So even if there's items in the chest, it's going to prevent the whole system from running because he'll be back here, unable to detect items in the chest. He won't be able to move forward to catch up to the chest. So he's pretty much stuck. Cruising home, I thought. Maybe not. Let's try that again. There we go. Much better. Alright guys, I kind of feel like now that we've got this mining operation completely well in hand, it's time to turn our attention back to Thaumcraft. So it's been a little bit of time since we started playing with Thaumcraft, and we've actually gotten a pretty major, huge update, version 4.1. It's probably 4.1, some random letter at the end of it, because he's been releasing a bunch of bug fixes. But long story short, we got some cool stuff. You can see over on the right side of my screen a bunch of scrolling because I just decided that I would run around and scan all the things that I haven't scanned since the last time I played around with this whole system. So I've just been kind of pointing my thermometer at all kinds of stuff and just scanning it all. It's a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast with it. Check it out. I'm scanning everything. Ooh, blue tallow candle. Air cluster. Haha, so cool. So yeah, obviously having a good old time scanning all the things. And as you can see, we've actually got some nifty new fancy particle effects when you scan stuff. It zips over up into the top right of your screen, which is currently covered up by my map, but it actually winds up going into a little representation of the Thumbonomicon. This thing hasn't changed too much on the inside, but the functionality of it has changed, and we've gotten a bunch of new toys to play with. If we check over in the Artifice tab, we can see stuff like Runic Armor and Lamp of Fertility. We're definitely going to want to check that guy out. A bunch of cool things, really. Ooh, I might want to actually use the Lamp of Fertility pretty soon. We'll get to it, I promise. We also get arcane doors and pressure plates, and a bunch of other cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of nifty gadgets added here. He also completely changed the way research works, which is actually really kind of neat because it helps out a lot. Oh, and Thaumic Tinkerer got a little bit of a rework as well. It has its own tab now, and you can kind of see its own stuff all over the place, kind of ready to play around and have some fun. Ooh. I want that. That's the thing I want, right down there. That's the powerful stuff from Thaumic Tinkerer. Ooh, that's a good one too. Cursed Spirit's Blade. Alright, so how does research work now? Well, research has changed quite a bit. Alright, there's 2 ways to get research. I'll show you the easy way first. It's my favorite because it's easy. You can see here the Obsidian Wand Core. This is one of the Wand Cores, which we saw, I got a bunch of the Wand Cores already through regular old research back in 4.0. The Wand Cores, and basically typically it's anything where, like, if you get one and then you need to get the rest of a similar type. But it's not always the case. It's just, I don't know exactly what he used to determine, like, when he should use this method versus the other. Like, this one's not it. I think it's basically anything with a hexagon shape or whatever versus a square shape is the indication. But basically, you can purchase it outright for research points. So it just says right here, click to purchase the research right here. Boom, Obsidian Wand Core, ta-da, research complete. I just researched Obsidian Wand Core. How easy was that? Now I can make one. Very cool. Which I don't need to make one, obviously, because I have the Silverwood Wand Core. But the other thing we can do, oh, here's another example, right? Focus pouch. Oh, it's telling me I don't have the required items. I need some instrumentum. Well, let's get some. Oh, instrumentum. I've got 2. Oh, it's Humanus and Order. Cool. Well, let's get that. Humanus and Order. These 2. Combine. We got some instrumentum now. And we can come over here and click it. And we've got it. Research completed. Focus pouch. Nice. So that's the easy way to do research. Now, I think there's actually a config file that can make all research like that. So if you don't like the research minigame, there's a new one that's available. You can do all your research with that method. But you know what? I like the research minigame. It's kind of cool. I'm going to play around with it a little bit. So let's take a look at, can I scan that stuff up there? I guess not. I've just got a mess all over the place sometimes. Ender chest. Sorry, I go a little scan crazy once I can. I'm guessing I can scan most of this stuff down here. Anything that's a vanilla crafting recipe, remember, you can scan. Aha, scanning all the things. Alright, where was I? Doing things, right? Okay, good. And you too. Nope, guess not. Alright, back to work. So, the new research mechanic is pretty nifty. What you can do is decide which item you want to research next. In order to do that, you're going to need two things. Some paper and some scribing tools, which no longer need to be on the research table. Well, maybe the scribing tools do. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So basically what you do is you get those two items and you decide what you want to research next. So one of the things I'd like to research, I would like to see what that's all about. Metal purification. That might be new, but I'm not sure. Research note added to your inventory for metal purification. So now you click on that and you've got this guy, research notes for metal purification. So no longer is it totally random. And now we've got this new minigame here, okay? Order and metallum. What we have to do is we've got these two things here and we have to fill in the blanks in between the two aspects and choose aspects that are either made up of order or made up of metal or make up order or metal. So order is a primal aspect, so nothing combines together to make order. So we can place anything next to this that is made up of order, and we can place anything next to this that's made up of either metal or makes up metal. We can mouse over here to see what's made up of metal. So metallum is made up of saxum and order. Well, that's pretty cool. So what we can do is sneak over here and find saxum. Where are you? There you are. Place that guy right next to it by clicking and dragging. Things are good. What I can do then is probably throw down something that makes up saxum. So let's see. Saxum is made up of terra and terra. So let's find some terra. Now, if we were to throw something down, like let's find a good example of something I have a ton of, potentia. If I put that down there, see how it's kind of grayed out and the icon's not there? That's not good. That's not good at all. So we want to right-click that to get rid of it. And we're going to put down the proper thing, terra. Okay, and we usually get like this little blue line here. I think it's just the saxum symbol is so large you can't see the little blue line connecting these two. So now we have to get something that is either made up of or makes up terra. Well, stone. We can do that just like so. And then if we remember, metallum is made up of ordo and saxum. So if I put metallum here, it's next to ordo and saxum, right? How cool is that? So, boom, we got a connection. We discovered metal purification. I think this is a new research. I don't actually know what this does. Oh, look at you. Native clusters are rare concentrations of metals in its purest form. You've discovered a way to purify and concentrate normal iron ore into a native iron cluster. Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty neat. That's kind of cool indeed. It's ore doubling mechanic. So as you guys remember, you could, I don't know if I ever told you this probably in this series, but you might know from previous series, the pickaxe of the core, when you use this pickaxe, you have a chance to get the native clusters. Well, it looks like now you can actually go ahead and produce them directly using a crucible. That's cool. So you can actually, like, if you're mining, you can use a crucible to turn the iron ore into native iron clusters and then smelt it to get twice the amount of iron. That's pretty neat, actually. And then, like I said, typically, like, once you've gotten one of the base things and everything else coming off of it, these are just straight-up purchases. So if I wanted to, I can purchase gold purification, and now I know how to do the exact same process with gold, copper, tin, silver, and lead. Done, 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 and done. I really like the fact that he added this and changed it, because honestly, research is cool, and I like doing it, but there's just so much research to do anymore that it would get tedious after a while, playing that minigame all the time. So it's a really good balance if you think of it. Now it's like, hey, if I want to do the research, cool, and there's other ways to, you know, get some of the, like, the not big things, right? Like the big stuff you have to research, and then the little stuff you don't have to research as much. Another thing you're definitely going to get is, let's see, I've already got the research mastery. These guys are really really useful. Make sure to get these like first. That's my recommendation. Very first thing you should research is research expertise and research mastery. It makes the whole minigame thing a lot easier. So I'm going to go poke around in here and come up with a couple things I'd like to get. I wouldn't mind grabbing Master V. Let's go ahead and do that. No tapping. All right, gonna go do some more research. Back in a few minutes. Oh, that's a complicated one. I'm telling you guys, playing this game is almost like playing 6 Degrees of Separation. It's hilarious. But it's once you start playing it, it's actually kind of fun, and you like enjoy coming up with the solution to the product. So I don't know, man. I'm having a lot of fun with this. All right, back to research. All right, guys, one of the things I'm really interested and excited about with the latest version here is the concept of automated alchemy. For me, alchemy has always been a hassle, let's put it that way, because you always have to like walk up and toss some items in, and there's always a chance that you're going to have too much of something or not enough of something else. You don't know what you're going to get with it. It's a little bit hard to be exact with, and you usually wind up creating that stuff. Nasty, ugly, disgusting flux. And then it's also like a big manual process. You know, I have to walk over here, I have to drop in this item and then that item and then calculate how much I need, and I need this many of that. And oh, dude, it's cool, but it's a little manual, and I don't like manual. You guys know that. So I asked Azenor a long time ago, do you have any plans to like let me automate this or make like a higher tier version of this? And he said, yeah, I do. And I said, okay, cool. And it's here. It's the automated alchemy tab right here in the Thaumanomicon. So what we need to make in order to get automated alchemy, to get started, is a crucible and 2 alchemical constructs. These guys are made up of the following. We're going to need some great wood planks, we're going to need 2 of them, and we're going to need some Essentia tubes, some V filters, and some Essentia valves. So let's see, what do I have in here? I've got a couple of U, I've got a great wood log, that shouldn't be a problem. So that's going to kind of get me started. Let's get ourselves a couple more of these. Let's see if I can remember. What's involved in Essentia tubes? Glass, iron, gold. Doesn't look too bad. I think 1 set of these will actually do. Gold and iron. Cool. Oh, no, you stay in there. Okay, good. So that's that. We're also going to need to upgrade 2 of these. So let's get ourselves... Oh, boy. Do I have any levers here by chance? I do. Cool. I love how fast stuff shows up. I think I just combined this with this. I think I'm going to need 4 total anyway, so I might as well get them. Come back here, you. Ah, there we go. Essentia valves. These are going to be very useful. Let's also grab for ourselves the V filters. So we're going to want 4 of them. Cool. And let's see if we can put this whole alchemical construct concept together. So it was something like this, wasn't it? Oh, you know what? Now I can tell already that I need another of these. There we go. Let's try that again. Something like this. Hey, nice. Insufficient V. That means I did something right. Yoink. Cool. And then let's charge up our wands again in preparation for this awesomeness. We're also going to want to make another crucible. Come back here, valves. Cauldron. Crucible. So let's see, where do I want to put this thing? That's a good question. You go there for a minute. There shouldn't be too much to put in there. Cool. Just want to make sure this thing was nice and full for when I'm about to make the crucible. Where do I want this thing to go? If I moved this over just a little bit, I could probably stick it in this corner, and I like that idea. So let's actually do that. I'm going to steal all of you. Cool. And you're going to get out of the way, as are you. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but these pipes are not going to work for me much longer. Basically, what happened was part of the update was modifying the way pipes work. They work with a bit of a system of pressure, and we can see that there's a bunch of gas spewing out of the pipes. That's letting you know that your pressure system is all kinds of wrong. So pipes changed in a big way. We can't really do things the way we were doing them in the past. We're going to want to change that up. We're probably going to want to switch to a golem method. It's just better. But for now, I can toss down my arcane alembic back to the way it was. So I'll probably just stick this guy right here, not a crucible. alchemical furnace. So we'll put back our alchemical furnace, 1, 2, and 3. And then in the corner here, I'm going to try out the crucible. Now, I've not really played with this much yet, so I don't know how well this works exactly, but ta-da! We've got this guy, the alchemical construct. Cool. One of the things I want to try and make is alimentum. So let's see what's involved in making alimentum. So first off for this, we've got the thaumatorium, marvelous invention, blah, 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 etc., etc. Cool. Ah, there's a note I was looking for. The crucible does not require water, but a heat source is still needed. All right, so we're definitely going to want, let's grab just a piece of nitor, just to keep things in line with the concept of being awesome. Haha, there we go, heat source ready. And I'll get this guy converted to smooth stone in a bit. I just want to get this working. So, alimentum then. That's what I want to make a bunch of. That requires a catalyst is the most important part. Once you place a catalyst in, you can determine what you're going to make. So if I place a piece of charcoal in here, which is the catalyst, you can see it already figured out, hey, that's the catalyst for alimentum. I know what I need. I need a bunch of ignis and potentia and perdito. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad, right? So the good news about this is ignis and potentia can come from charcoal. So all we need is a little bit of charcoal and a little bit of cobblestone to get perdito, and we should be able to make a good amount of alimentum, which as we know can be used as a fuel source. By the way, alimentum, really good fuel source in most things like, I don't know, steam boiler? Yeah, I think that would work pretty well actually. So what if we converted our charcoal, because that's pretty much the only resource you need besides cobblestone, into alimentum, and then started throwing that in our steam boiler. Ooh, might be cool. All right, let me get what I need. I'm going to need, I think, I'm going to need 2 more of these alchemical furnaces and some more arcane alembics, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I'm going to try something, and if it doesn't work, I've got another solution. So let's try it. I'm going to place down the alembic, and we're going to go ahead and just toss, oh, we're low on everything, aren't we? Let's just toss a couple pieces of charcoal in here, and I'm going to toss 1 piece of charcoal in the top, and hopefully that'll start burning up. My question is, will it automatically output to the adjacent guy? I want to click on elementum here, and ooh, is it cooking? Is it going? Maybe? Oh, you know what? It might be. Alright, so this guy goes into here, but this guy doesn't. Interesting. So he's going into there directly, so that's kind of good news. But I guess we need some piping to go into the back. Alright, that's not bad actually. Hold on. Nobody panic, because this might be cool. If I were to toss this thing up here to here, we'll see, why do you connect then? That's funny that you're not, oh, you know what, maybe he needs to fill up on fire before he can fill up on potentia. Let's see, hold on. Hold on. Alright, he's full on fire and potentia is not draining yet. That's interesting. So I guess I do need... So if I put this thing here and I wand him... Just trying to get these pipes to behave the way I want them to. Because really what I want to do is pipe this from here over to there. I'm afraid, let's see what happens if I do that. Unless you're looking for, you know what, he might be looking for Perdito first. Let's do that. Let's get Perdito down. I'm just going to try this. Maybe that's what he's looking for. If he only needs Perdito first and these guys can be adjacent without piping, that would be really cool. Let's get the alembic. We're going to throw, again, a few more pieces of charcoal in there and some cobblestone. Okay, cool. A couple more pieces of cobblestone. Hey, look at that, it worked, and it spit out an alimentum. Ha, awesome. All right, so I don't need piping. Good deal. So the only downside now is that we've got this excess saxum right here. I've got a solution to you. Hey, saxum thingy, come here. Can you be adjacent or do you need to be piped? If you need to be piped, it's okay. I won't mind. But if you can be adjacent, that would be great. Now, the other thing is sometimes the saxum might land in here, sometimes it might land in here. So how do we make sure that it's landing in the right spot? What we can do is label it. We can label this guy now that there's saxum in there. That way he'll always be saxum. Cool. And this guy will therefore always be Perdito. So if I, threw some more cobblestone in, I could even label this. It's optional. You don't really have to label it now, but if I did, it's, positively sure that it's always going to work. Now let's see. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to void directly from the side here. I'm like 99% sure. Yep, didn't think so. It's not voiding. So, easy solution. Place this here, and we place some Essentia tubes here, and then we do that, and ta-da, there goes the saxum. So all we really need to do now is supply this thing with an everlasting supply of, you guessed it, cobblestone. Gee, I wonder how we can do that. It's so easy. I love it. So now all we have to do is throw in a bunch of charcoal here, and we should get a bunch of that stuff spitting out. Let's see. You should cook up and do your thing. Ignis and Potentia. Go. Make Ignis and Potentia happen, please. Oh, right, I need another piece of charcoal up in the top. So as long as we've got charcoal in here, it'll steal Ignis, it'll steal Perdito, it'll steal Potentia, and spit out, haha, Elementum. That's cool. I like it. All right, let's do some stuff. Oh, and by do some stuff, I obviously mean let's wrap up the episode, because that's where we're at. Unfortunately, you guys know I hate that time just as much as you do, but we do have to wrap up here. So I'm going to come back next episode. I'm going to complete work on this system. As you can see, it's spitting out Elementum at me. That's fine. If I put a chest in front of it, it'll land in the chest. What I'm going to do is something along the lines of keeping charcoal supplied in an ender chest, maybe, something along those lines. Then we will have the charcoal land in here. And we'll do stuff with Elementum, and we'll make sure that it's making huge amounts of Elementum, which will then start powering instead of charcoal. Well, it'll still be charcoal, but it'll be charcoal being converted to Elementum. Let me come down here and show you guys the difference, right? So how much charcoal does it take to make Elementum? Well, according to my calculations, right, it takes three pieces of charcoal, okay, in the top and melted down, gets me 2 pieces of Elementum, right? Because Elementum needs... Alright, that's cool. Elementum needs 6, right? So 3 of these guys gets me 2 Elementum. Or Elementum needs 3, so 3 of these guys gets me 2 Elementum, right? Plus 2 charcoal for the catalyst. So that's a total of 5 charcoal equals 2 Elementum, okay? So keep that in mind. 5 charcoal equals 2 Elementum. And if we look in here, we can see that according to our mouse over, charcoal is 1.6k heat in a solid fueled boiler. Okay, Elementum is 6.4k heat. So that's a basically 4 to 1 ratio, right? So 4 charcoal equals 1 Elementum in here. But 5 charcoal gives you 2 Elementum. So overall, we're getting a huge, it's almost double. It's not quite double the efficiency, but almost. All right, so that's a huge increase in efficiency from just a little alchemical magic. All right, so all we have to do now is set up a cobblestone generator and that stuff, which will happen next episode. And then we're going to feed our charcoal into the solid fuel boiler, and Elementum is going to be doing a whole bunch more work for us. And then we can probably not need, I'm thinking we could try not needing the tree farm anymore. And we'll stick with the Steve's Carts one. And then we can switch that farm into farming something else. There's all kinds of stuff we can farm. Alright guys, for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. More automation with Thaumcraft will come next episode, among, maybe some other things. I think I'm going to spend a little time doing just a little bit of research. And hopefully have some more toys to play with when we get back. Alright guys, take it easy.